to welcome everyone here today. I am from South Dakota Parent Connection, and today we're going to be talking about the folder of information and life experiences. Often families are asked to provide documents and other information in order to obtain services for their child. And many times families have the information, but they're not available all in one place. Families have benefited by starting and maintaining a record-keeping system, and that's what the FILE system is all about. The FILE system originally was the result of a combined effort of several experienced parents and the following organizations: Birth to Three Connections, Children's Care Hospital and School, the Division for Developmental Disabilities, the Department of Health, Family Support, USD Sanford School of Medicine Center for Disabilities, South Dakota Children's Special Health Services, and South Dakota Parent Connection. The FILE is a good record-keeping system, and it will help you rely on documents instead of your memory. It's going to help you to organize and keep your information in one place. It'll save you time. It enables you to make informed decisions, and it'll help you be better prepared when the time comes. Some suggestion that you might want to take when starting to use the FILE: make a master copy of all the forms that you find included in the FILE, and that way you'll always have access to more forms if you need them. Put the current information regarding your child in the FILE. If you have older information, you're going to want to keep this in a file just at your home. And then use a checklist as they're printed in the FILE folders as a guide for what you should keep. Update with new information as soon as possible. And then also remember that not all forms or FILE sections here are going to be something that pertains to your child right now, but be sure and keep those for future planning. In the front of the container, you'll find the FILE survey, a self-addressed stamped envelope, a letter to the parents, contributor's acknowledgement, a respite care pamphlet, and also a donation form. Under the blue folder, you'll find family records, and many service providers require families to provide certain documents when applying for services. And when families have these documents readily available, the process for getting appropriate services will go faster. Some things that you're going to include in the blue folder are the copy of your birth certificate, Social Security information, and in all folders there's also a place for notes. Under the developmental history folder, that it will be your green folder, you're going to keep your birth records, adolescent issues and phases, and developmental history form. And then also, again, like I said, in all folders will be a place for notes. This too is a file information that you will be asked by service providers one time or another, and by having this information readily available, it's going to save you time and frustration of trying to look it up or remember it. Whenever you go to any kind of appointment at all, you're going to want to bring your file folder with you. The white folder will be medical information, and many times parents are asked questions regarding their child's general health, their records, medical history, immunization records, and every school system requires that parents provide a copy of their current immunization records, and this medical folder is where you would want to keep these. Therapies are under the tan folder, and you'll have any kind of therapist contact information there. Personal notes about therapy, comments and questions, any kind of information that they send to you, instructions from the therapist, any kind of equipment list that you will need. And this includes anything from physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, and the like. The salmon color folder is your IEP folder. At least once a year, the school must schedule a meeting with the parents to review the child's IEP for the coming year. And parents should keep a record of the new IEP in this file. It's also good to have your old IEP so you can see the progress that your student has made. Under the gray folder is the letters and contact information. Here you can put copies of letters that have been sent to you, letters received, telephone logs. There's a section for business cards. This packet also contains letters so that you have a guide when you're writing letters to different agencies. And parents should document any and all phone conversations concerning their child's education or health programs. And also a plastic holder for business cards is also included. That way you can keep numbers handy at all times. In the yellow folder, you'll find evaluation and consents. And you always want to keep a copy of those signed consent forms, evaluation processes and reviews. You should also keep a copy of all letters that are sent and all letters that you also received. You can use these sample letters to request testing, school records, modifications to the IEP, and to process grievances or for any other purposes. This log can be used by parents to keep a running list of all the different evaluations that their child has received. Looking in the pink folder, we'll find respite care and child care. You're going to want to keep your state forms for all respite care so that you can send them in after you've used them. And then any other kind of child care provider information should be kept in the pink folder. In the gold folder, you're going to find transition. Now this is something that you're going to want to put things into as they go through their career in school. You're going to want to include transcripts and course history, test scores, if they receive any kind of certificates or awards. This is a way that later on you can help with resume and finding letters of recommendations for jobs and such. Legal and life planning folder is the ivory folder. And this is more for the parents so that you begin to plan for their needs later in life. They're more related to adult responsibilities, various adult services. You're going to want to put in anything about guardianship or any court papers that might deal with your child so that they are all in one place. This file is meant to keep current data. You're going to want to transfer pages as it becomes full so that you can keep this one clean and with the newest materials. You're going to want to make copies of all the forms in the file and then keep those in a different location so that you always have access when they're needed. And remember that not all forms are going to pertain to your child right now, but be sure and keep them handy because they will at some time. And then pick up business cards and put them in the plastic business card sheet for always easy access. Be sure and take the file with you to all doctor's appointments, emergency room, hospital visits, and school meetings. It'll help you be more prepared. You're going to want to keep notes and information about phone calls with doctors, schools, insurance, and agencies. And there is a phone log section so that you can do that. And then you're going to want to use the doctor appointment sheet. That way you can keep records when you know when and why your child was at the doctor. And be sure to use the calendar to keep records of dates and appointments, tests, procedures, therapies, and any other special events. If you have any questions or you would like to receive a file, please call us at South Dakota Parent Connection. We have offices in Sioux Falls and Rapid City, and you can contact us through our toll-free number at 800-640-4553.